Good morning, guys. Welcome to my replay viewers. Thank you guys so much for jumping in, checking out my broadcast. Sorry I missed you live. I'm so glad you guys took some time to check it out. What is up to my live crew this morning? Great to see you all this morning. So glad to have you here. I appreciate you guys coming in to hang out with me on a Friday morning. Good morning to you, Brad. Good to see you, brother. Heather, great morning to you. Brian, what's up, buddy? Thanks for coming in. Sheila, what's going on, girl? Thank you for coming in. Kim Lukens, what's going on? Sharon, what's happening? Camille, I see you on Periscope. Good morning to you as well. Y'all are amazing, and I appreciate you. I got a fun broadcast for you this morning, guys, all right? So y'all know how I like to roll on Fridays. On Fridays, I like to just kind of set aside my business and my marketing content, and I like to share something that's on my heart to share with you from the Word of the Lord. So, but today, I actually, for the past couple weeks, I've had on my mind that I've wanted to, I want to do a broadcast about kids. And just been talking about my kids and some of the things that I do as a parent, and just I guess some of the challenges that I'd like to put out to all of us as parents on what we're doing with our children. So today we're going to have a fun broadcast. We're going to talk about kids. We're going to talk today about 5 ways that you can make a very powerful impact in the life of your kids. And I'm going to give you some examples about some of the stuff that we're doing. But I also have a very special guest with me this morning, the one and only Celia Kilbler, founder of FunFit and Pumped Up Parenting. She's an incredible parenting coach. Celia is going to be joining me this morning, and the two of us are just going to have a discussion together live about our kids and some of the things that I'm going to be sharing, some of the things that I'm doing with my kids, and Celia is going to give us some examples about ways that we can all be better with our kids, not only every day, but throughout the holiday season. So excited to share with you this one this morning. Should be fun. I've never done a broadcast of this type where I've got a special guest like this. This is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm glad to have you guys here with me this morning, all right? So all you guys that know me, you know who I am, you know how I roll. I'd love to have you hit that share button and invite your crew into the broadcast. Get anybody in here that you think may want to hang out with us and take part in this conversation this morning, all right? And then if anybody's brand new, if you've never seen me before, if you have no idea who I am, first of all, welcome. I would love to greet you into the broadcast and say hello. If you want to give me a hashtag first time and let me know if it is the first time you've ever seen me, I would love to say hello, and my crew would love to make you feel welcome. So let me know if it is the first time you've ever joined in with us. Jason, I see you. Good morning. Linda, good morning. Catherine, good morning. Thank you all you guys. And then lastly, guys, I love my replay viewers. I appreciate every single one of you guys that's watching this on the replay. And I know Celia does as well, because she's going to be sharing this out on her page. But all you guys that are watching this replay, specifically on Facebook and YouTube, we would all love to know that you can comment and interact with this broadcast. I'd love for you to give me a hashtag replay. I do see those comments, and I do respond to those as well. So I would love to know that you were here. Those guys that are watching the replay specifically on Periscope and Twitter, unfortunately, you cannot comment on replay broadcasts on those two platforms, but you certainly can share that content out if you're enjoying it. And if you'd like to be able to comment, interact with it, you can absolutely come over to Facebook. You can check this broadcast on my Facebook page, and you can interact with it there if you would like to be able to do so, all right? Also, real quick in regards to Facebook, if any of us are not currently friends on Facebook, that is a crime. And I would love to solve that crime. If you want to look me up on Facebook, Justin Kaplan, I'm very easy to find. You can shoot me a friend request over here, guys. All my best stuff is shared on Facebook, and there's a lot of stuff that I only share on Facebook. So I'd love to get connected with you here, and I'd love to see what you're up to as well, all right? On that note, guys, good morning, Kat. I see you, buddy. Thanks for coming in. On that note, we are going to roll because I know I do not waste my time. But hang on, this is who I am. All right, y'all, that is who I am. That is what I do. Justin Kaplan Pro is my name. JustinKaplanPro.com is my website. I'm a startup business mentor and a branding strategist that specializes in helping startup entrepreneurs turn your passion into a profitable and sustainable brand that rises up in this digital marketplace and draws in those 21st century consumers that want and need what you have to offer. I broadcast live every single weekday, Tuesday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, hooking you guys up with business building tips, hacks, and principles. Anything I can give you to help you grow your business, expand your ministry, bring your vision to life, and grow that brand of yours online in this digital marketplace. But I'm also a dad. I'm a husband. I have a love for the Lord. I have 4 children running around this house, and I just love my kids. I love doing my parenting. So on Fridays, we like to set aside business and marketing content and just share some real life good topic. So today I just really in the mood to talk about kids. So we're going to talk about kids today, and I'm going to introduce for you guys my very special guest, the one and only Celia Kibler. Celia, your audio is live, and they can see your face on screen. So everybody say hello to Celia. Celia is here, of course.
Hi, guys.
Now that you're here, your screen looks like it's frozen. So let's.
Oh no.
We can hear you. We can hear you, but
my screen frozen?
Your face is frozen. I don't want
is
your.
It frozen in a good way or a bad
It's
way?
frozen. It kind of looks like you're sleeping. I don't know why it's frozen.
It's frozen. Oh my gosh.
We don't want your face to be frozen because this
is really frozen.
Your face is totally frozen. You know what I want you to?
Frozen with a smile.
This is what I want you. How do I want to do this?
I look very intense.
Yeah, you do look super intense. I guess I could get rid of your face, but I want people to be able to see you. Why is it frozen?
I don't know. We can keep going and
yeah, I guess I'll
see if it unfreezes.
Let me just take your face away so we can just hear you. So y'all can hear? I'm assuming you can hear Celia. Yeah, you guys can hear Celia. Okay, give me
Can you hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me.
I don't know why Celia's face is frozen because it looked so good before we went live.
Tim said hey.
This is.
Yes, I'm in deep thought, cat.
Yeah, exactly. Celia's in deep thought. Man, why are you frozen? I want to get back to this because I really want.
Oh, now I'm gone.
I really want you to see your face, but I don't want to see a sleepy Celia face. Huh? You know what I wonder?
Technology.
You know what I wonder, Celia? Let's we're live. We can do whatever while we want. Of course, I don't know if this will do this while we're live. I wonder if it would be worth you trying to jump off of Zoom and coming back in, but I don't know if that would make a difference or not.
I can try it.
Don't do it yet. Hang on a second. Let me try.
Okay.
Let me try something real quick. No, that's not it.
Audio's fine, Kat says.
Yeah, the audio is well. I really hate it when things don't work the way I want them
to. And Kim says I'm never frozen. I'm very energetic.
I know. No, she can't refresh. It's the plugin that I have with Zoom. I'm just wondering if.
Now I'm a white.
Yeah, now you're a white thing.
So guys, I'll just tell you while I'm trying to figure this out that I'm coming to you live from Suburban Nursery School in Bethesda, Maryland. Best school ever. And if you live in this area, you should take your kids here. I've been teaching here for over 20 years. And if you hear kids in the background, that's why. Because we have kids. Because we're preschool. So if you hear little voices,
I got you.
A little blessing.
I got you.
All over the place.
Thank you, Celia. I got you. Looks like there's a slight delay, but that's okay. We can see your face. We're here. We're good. Okay, so Celia's here. So thank you, Celia. So Celia is a traveling, amazing person. She goes and teaches at school. She does FunFit. FunFit. Give us a little explanation, real quick, of what FunFit is, Celia, so people understand that.
So FunFit is basically a kids' fitness program, and I created it with my sister Maddie in 1987. Yes, we are old, and it's structured like a fitness program. The concept behind it is that it's all inclusive, regardless of skills, gender. It is always keeping the kids involved. There's no one waiting for their turn. Mostly non-competitive play. Runs from 11 months old to elementary school.
It's awesome.
So that is FunFit, and we work in schools, rec departments, all over the place.
I love it. So the Monday through Friday schedule is Celia Kibler. She's traveling all over, doing FunFit, doing her classes. So today she happens to be in one of her schools that she's been teaching at for 20 years, but she was willing to take an hour out of her day and to sit and talk to us about kids because she loves kids.
Okay.
I called Celia yesterday. I said, Celia, I want to talk about kids and I want you to join me. So I don't know what you're doing at 9 o'clock, but you're not doing it anymore because you got to talk to me. She's like, yay, I want to talk about kids. So we're going to talk about kids this morning. So we do have a mission that we want to accomplish today, guys. We really just want to talk about how we go about making a meaningful impact in the lives of our children. So I've just had a lot on my mind about my own kids lately and some of the stuff that we're doing. So we're just going to share some examples of some of the things that we're doing. Good morning, Courtney. I see you, babe. We're gonna talk about through some of the examples of things that I've been doing, and Celia's just gonna give us some insight from a parenting professional, and just talk about some of the things that we all should be doing and thinking about with our kids. As always, I like starting you guys out with a quote of the day. So I'm going to share with you a quote of the day today from a woman named Rebecca Eames. And this quote says, your words sow seeds in your children's hearts. From those seeds spring up either confidence or uncertainty, dignity or dishonor, worth or worthlessness. Your words create the beginning of their life stories, and they will carry those stories with them for the rest of their lives. I'm going to say it again because it's such a good quote. I really want us to think about it. Your words sow seeds. Your words sow seeds in your children's hearts. From those seeds spring up either confidence or uncertainty, dignity or dishonor, worth or worthlessness. Your words create the beginning of their life stories, and they will carry those stories with them for the rest of their lives. That's by Rebecca Eames. So love that quote, and that's really a substance of a lot of what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to share 5 powerful ways that you can make an impact with your kids, not only through the holiday season, but just every day, okay? And I know you guys are probably hearing a little bit of background noise. That's Celia. She is in a school, and we're just going to roll with it, all right? Glenda, good morning. Alonzo, good morning. Or Elizabeth, I see all you guys. Appreciate you coming in. So the first thing I want to talk about is one-on-one time. So one-on-one time. I have 4 kids. Many of y'all know this about me. I got 4 kids. So my kids' ages are 15, 13, 11, and 8. And one of the things that I've found to be tremendously important with my kids, especially because I went through a divorce several years ago, so I have split parenting time with my kids. So being that I only get my parenting time half the time, my time with my kids is super precious to me, and I'm intentional about making sure that I can get time not only with the group together but also with one-on-one. So one of the things that I started doing, man, I don't know how long have I been doing this, Celia. I don't even remember. I think it's maybe 3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
I started doing what I call dad dates. And so dad dates every single Tuesday, and this has been like standing date on the calendar for almost 3 years now. Every single Tuesday, I pick up one of my kids from school and I take them out for the evening. We go out to a dinner location of their choice. We usually have an activity of their choice, and I usually spend from about 2 o'clock to around 8 o'clock with them every Tuesday. And it's just that one-on-one time with the kids. And I'll tell you that time with the kids is so powerful. It not only is so good for me to be able to understand where they're at and talk to them about what's going on in their worlds, but the conversations that I'm able to have with my kids one-on-one is way different than conversations that we have as a family. So Celia, you want to chime in on this and talk about the importance of being able to have that time?
Absolutely. And just so you know, guys, I didn't tell you guys that I am a mommy, and I'm a mom of 5 kids. 2 I gave birth to, and 3 I gave through marriage. I'm a grandma of 7, and I've been coaching and teaching kids and parents for over 40 years, a long time.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so I just wanted to give you a heads up on, where I'm coming from. As far as spending time with your kids, guys, it is vitally important that your children know that regardless of how many siblings come into their family, and like in my case, my 2 gained 3 really fast, and my ex-husband remarried, they gained 2 more, that they are still individually important to you.
Yes, that's so good.
If you have a new baby, that child that is the older sibling needs to know that, you know what, you can hang with them without that baby. Do not always spend time with your older sibling and always have that baby there. That baby needs to go away sometimes, and you need to just be one-on-one with your older child. And date nights are like the best way to spend time with individual children. I've said, if you followed me, my 31-year-old son, we just had a date night the other night. Every time the superhero movie comes out, we go for dinner and for a movie.
Yeah.
And it's what we've been doing for years.
It's so good. It's so good.
And
it's something they look forward to. Like my kids, like they look at the calendar and like they're looking like 3 months out, and they're looking at my date's gonna be on this date, and it's like, And on the the rare occasion that something comes up or we end up having to reschedule a date for whatever reason, it shifts everybody's world because if we miss a week, everything changes and they're like, all right, now this is my date, and something that they really look forward to. And I tell you, yeah, Courtney oftentimes will go with us, and Courtney she goes if she's invited. So, but the kids are like, I want Courtney to come, and she's like, okay. If sometimes we do a boy date, like if I take the boy to a football game or something, and we just do a boy thing. Sometimes we'll do that, but for the most part, the kids want Courtney to come. But it's like the most revealing things that we have learned, the deepest conversations, the biggest breakthroughs we've had with our kids have been on those dates where we got some windshield time and we're able to actually have some real intimate discussion. So the one-on-one time is important. I saw a ton of your comments. A lot of the group is talking about them doing dad dates, mom dates. I love that, and I love that you guys are doing that.
And don't forget when you set up weekly dates, like Justin said, on your calendar, and they should absolutely go on your calendar. If it's like a Friday night, you can have child 1, child 2, child 3. You can switch parents. But don't forget about yourselves. One of those date nights should be each other.
That's true.
Because
Great.
so often parents forget about their own relationship.
Yep. Love that.
So while you're building your kids, build yourself.
Love that. And all of our marriage coaches just love that you just said it that right now, Celia. I love it. So one-on-one time. So this is just a challenge for you guys, all right? Sounds like a lot of y'all are doing it, all right? But if you're not, if you got more than one kid at home, and it's been a long time since you've taken your kids out individually just to spend some one-on-one time, I'm going to pose a challenge to you. Celia and I are both going to pose a challenge to you to set up a time, put it on the calendar, and allow your schedule and your child to hold you accountable to it. So you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this. And even your grandkids, even your grandmas that are doing grandkids. This is, I think, would you agree with this, Celia? I think it's so important for grandparents to do this as well. To really make that meaningful connection with your grandkids as well. I think it shouldn't be a once a year thing or a holiday thing. It should be something where you're like genuinely, truly seeking out to have a relationship with your grandkids.
If you live close, take the opportunity. Yeah. Absolutely. And the other thing I wanted to say was if you have a teen or a child that you find hard to talk to, no better place to talk to a child than in a locked car where they can't escape.
Yeah, so that's the truth.
Bring on those conversations that you're not comfortable talking about in your house because there's too much commotion.
Yep.
Cars are perfect.
Yep, I love it.
My son about that. Many conversations.
Yeah, and we found too with our own kids that that when we have that time one-on-one with the kids are usually way more willing to share things that they wouldn't otherwise share with their siblings around, because whether it's tattletale, whether it's making fun of or whatever, oftentimes if they may trust you in the conversation, but they may not necessarily trust the other ears that are listening, so they won't bring something up because other kids are listening. So the one-on-one time is important.
Peer pressure thing going on.
Yep, it's important. So that's number one, is one-on-one time. Second one, we're going to do 5 of these this morning. The second one we're going to talk about is tough conversations. This is something that I have really wanted to be intentional with from a very young age with my kids. Is I always wanted to be the dad that my kids could tell anything to. Like, I wanted my kids to know that I'm not reactive, that you can tell me anything, that nothing will shock me, and there's nothing that you can do in your world that will make me not love you, or freak out on you. I want my kids to be able to tell me anything. So I've developed, and a lot of it's gone through these dad dates, but I've developed a great relationship with every one of my kids, where every one of my kids tell me everything. And sometimes it's a little shocking. Like some of the stuff that, like, I've had some conversations, especially with my teenagers, where I got them one-on-one, and I'll ask them a couple questions, and something comes up, and I'm like, I handle it calmly, but like, then I tell Courtney later, I'll be like, I can't believe they told me that. but I'm like, I'm so glad, right? So I honestly can't really tell you how I facilitated that environment with my kids. So I'm hoping I can get that insight from you, Celia, where you can give us some insight on how to actually create that environment where your kids are open to share with you. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the big thing is when you're talking to kids, number one, I always say listen with your eyes. You should be eye to eye with them. Don't be holding the phone up here and expect your child to think you're even interested in what they have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to them, listen, be a really good listener. Really good listeners are really good conversationalists. Ask questions. Asking questions encourages more conversation. And make sure it's the right time to talk. Don't sit there and have a conversation with your kid with the TV on and noise going on and people coming in and out and things like that. That is not the right time.
Yeah, and expect to
good,
have any kind of deep or
conversation with your
meaningful
child.
conversation if you're in a distracted environment. I think that's a lot of too what makes the dates powerful is the windshield time, the time in the car. I have my kids put their phone away, so they're not allowed to be on the phone with me when they're on a dad date, and so it's the only thing that you can do is have conversation. But I think the environment is a great one. Anything else you want to add to that, buddy?
And don't interrupt. Don't, listen to what they have to say and respect their opinion. I don't have to say in this world right now, nobody's respecting anyone's opinion. It's their decision, and that's the way we go. But with your kids, you really have to realize that they may have a valid point in whatever they're deciding to do something to talk about. There may be valid points there. Listen to them, understand where they're coming from, and then talk about it, discuss it. If you need a different outcome, let your kids come up with different ways to create that outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just say, do it this way.
I love it.
Because it may not work for them.
Yep, I love it.
And
so
that's how you build trust.
Yep.
Trust is not a given.
I think the other thing that I'd like to bring up on this conversation as well, on just tough conversations, is I think it's our job as parents to be cognizant of what our kids are dealing with at the age that they're at in school. Being aware that they're probably being exposed to conversations about sex in middle school. They're being exposed to vaping and drugs in the bathroom. They're being exposed to bullying, even though they may not be in the one being bullied yet. They may be being exposed to being bullied. So I think it's important to understand what they might be going through, what kids in today's school system are experiencing, and finding ways to bring that conversation up so you can find it out. Because I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Celia, but I don't think kids are likely to bring that up and talk to you about it unless you invite that conversation. Is that accurate?
Right. And you can introduce it as like a scenario.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to, if you're aware of something, you can say, my friend told me about the story of something that happened, blah, 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 whatever it relates to. Did you know about it? What would you think if that happened to you? How
Mm-hmm.
would you react?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be proactive. You want to know what's ahead for your kids, and you want to prepare them with things that they can say if they're in an uncomfortable situation and they need to get out of it.
Yeah.
Blame it on, you can always say, look, blame it on me. If you're getting weird text messages or messages that you feel uncomfortable with, say, you know what, please don't send that because my crazy parents, they check my text messages.
I've actually told my daughter that, especially Natalie, who's 15 and has gone through some of that stuff. I'm like, listen, babe, you can use me as the bad guy at any point in time. I remember sending her, I sent her off to her first high school dance this year, where she went to homecoming. It was her first high school dance as a sophomore, and we got her all set up. She's gorgeous, and she was excited to go to this dance. And so, taking her to the dance, we had some time in the car, and I was telling her, all right, listen, I remember what a high school dance was like, and that was 20 years when I was in high school. And there's a lot of groping, moping, and groaning going on in a high school dance. I'm like, and she didn't have a boyfriend. I'm like, just because you don't have a boyfriend doesn't mean stuff doesn't happen at the dance. So I'm like, I want you to be aware. You go in there, you have fun with your friends, you enjoy the experience, and have a great time. If anything happens in that school that makes you uncomfortable and you want out of there, you just text me. Need you to come get me, and I am on my way. And you can tell your friends, my dad's got something, he's coming to get me right now, and you can use me as an example. But I think the other thing too that I think about with this is I've had this, and I've used this as a way to bring up conversation about tough conversations, is start with things that I've went through. So I've had some conversations with my son about puberty, sex, pornography, all the things that go on at this stage and age with kids. And so I'd start out by being like, oh, buddy, I remember when I was 12, or I remember when I was 13, and some of the things that I was exposed to, or some of the things that I wrestled with when I was your age. And are you wrestling with that? Are you dealing with any of that stuff? And it's like, Dad went through that, so now I can feel free. So that found me to be tremendously helpful. Thoughts on that, Celia?
Right. Absolutely be authentic. Tell them about, we all grew up, we were all teenagers, we were all little kids, we all have memories of things that we were in situations where we were not so thrilled to be in, or that people tried to influence us one way or another. So be authentic with your kids and talk about it, and don't judge them, don't criticize them, don't open up a conversation with, I can't believe you did this. How would you do this? I would have never thought you were going to do that. None of that. Be welcoming and be encouraging and let them talk to you about things that worry them and absolutely relate to them through your experience so they know you're human. You're not God. You're human, just like they're human.
Yeah, I think it makes it safe, right? It creates a safe environment.
Right. And on the top of the teenagers, what's huge for them is the desire to belong. So if something is super tempting, that being tempted for that situation may override everything that they know is right or wrong just because of that temptation. It's a huge issue with kids. So you have to understand that and you can relate to that. I know you were tempted to do this. However, on and on and on. Relate to those feelings they have.
Good. I love it. All right. So that was number 2 is tough conversations. Number 3 is keeping private things private. So all of our kids are going to go through stuff, right? I think every one of us, if you're a parent, your kids have been through things. Your kids have done things. Your kids are going to do things that are stupid, especially in the teenage years. I've got my kids have made some bonehead decisions. They've done some stupid stuff, but I think this is a matter of maintaining trust with your children. The things that are private that are going on with your kids need to stay in your home. Would you agree with that, Celia? I mean, I've heard examples of I've heard it from other people. I've sat there and been talking to a parent before, and a parent will be telling me about something that their child did, and that they got grounded for it and what they're doing, and I'm thinking, man, if you're telling me that, I wonder who else you're telling that. And when that gets back around to your kid, that you're out there spreading their laundry, it's such a destructor of trust. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. And what's between you and your child is between you and your child. And you will destroy them ever coming to you about anything if you start talking up your conversation. I mean, just imagine if you told somebody something in confidence and then you found out that 35 more people found out about it. It's a whole problem with kids and taking pictures and sending these pictures around.
Yeah.
Is before you know it, they're everywhere.
Yep.
And they have huge repercussions. You have to keep the trust of your child by them knowing that what they tell you in confidence stays in confidence. If you're worried about bullying or something going on in school and you're talking to your child about it, don't let them know, look, I'm not going to go to the teacher. I'm not going to go to the principal without your permission. Let's see how we can resolve it right here, right now. Because they won't come talk to you. You will cut off.
Yeah, that's all it takes, right? All it takes is one circumstance where they've told you something in confidence, and all of a sudden they hear that you're out there telling other people about it. You just gotta be so careful with that. I think the other thing about it too that I want you just to touch on too, Celia, is how important it is to, I don't know how to say this, but let the past be the past. So if the kids have done something wrong, you've dealt with the discipline, you've dealt with the circumstance, and you're moving. Even if the discipline is currently in play, but you're moving through it, don't keep rehashing it. Do you agree with that?
Exactly. I mean, if you have something happen and you've settled it, there was a consequence, whatever it is, don't bring it back up 3 months later when something happens, like, oh, it's like that time you talked back to me, blah, 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 No, that's gone. That's in the past. Give your kids the opportunity to learn from mistakes like they should be.
Mm-hmm.
Mistakes are good.
Mm-hmm.
They're things we learn from. When we make wrong choices, we hopefully learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you keep bringing it up and bringing it up, they never get a feeling like they can move on from it.
Right.
Because it's like labeling them.
Yeah, well, it's constantly. I mean, I don't think even us as adults, none of us would like to have our life's mistakes thrown up in our face and constantly being brought back up to us. And the kids are the same
Exactly.
way. Their life is shorter, but they don't need to be constantly having their mistakes or their garbage brought back up to the surface. You know,
Right.
I was just thinking about
politicians, they bring up things that happened like at their first year of college.
Yeah.
40, 50 years ago. Really?
Yeah.
You know? Hopefully they've grown up a little since then.
You know, one of the things I just was thinking about when just on the topic of tough conversations, is Celia, you did a broadcast series. I think it was last week. I don't remember what your theme was for the week, but you did a whole series on some tough stuff. Like you talked about puberty and stuff like that.
That was this week.
That was this week. So what topics did you cover? Let the crew know.
Tuesday was puberty. Wednesday.
Of course, you can't.
I have no memory.
All right, so I'll say this: Celia did a great broadcast.
I'm gonna do tough topics all month.
Okay, so she's just on the topic of tough topics. So if you are that parent where you're like, all right, I get it, I need to have some tough conversations with my kids, but I don't know how. Like, how do I? Maybe you're a mom that you grew up with girls and you got a boy going through puberty and you have no idea how to talk to him about that. Go to Celia Kibler's page. And a friend request her, check out her content, and she's got some great insight as to how to have those conversations. So just want to let you know she's got tons of free information that you can get out to and get some access to. Okay.
Yeah, Tuesday through Friday, 9:00.
I love it.
And I think Sheila was wondering what to say. Boy talk with boys because there's always girls, and I just want to tell you, Sheila, we could talk more off this broadcast, but. You want to really, it depends what you're talking about, but responsibility for your own actions and your own choices is huge for girls and boys.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need to connect with the child that you can connect with, they're interested in sports, they're interested, you're watching the show and some funny commercial comes on, connect where you can. Start talking about the commercial, what you loved about it, why it was funny, ask them, and that opens conversation and it keeps moving forward.
Yep.
Don't feel like you always have to only talk about the serious stuff.
I'm gonna tag you in the post real quick, y'all. So I just tagged Celia on the comments, and I'm also gonna tag. Let's see if I can tag Pumped Up Parenting in here.
My last name Sharon, K-I-B like boy, L-E-R, Kibler. Oh, they already wrote it in there.
Yeah, I got it. I got it in there, and I was
right on top of things.
I'm not gonna. I'm wondering. I guess your website. I'll just put your website in here. So Celia's website is www.pump. Let's see if I can type this well. Parenting.com. There you go. There's her website. There's her name. So you guys can connect and friend request Celia if you want to get more information from her. Okay.
Yes, I love friends.
You do.
I love more friends.
I love it. Let's go to number 4. Number 4 is understanding your child's personality. So, did you do a broadcast about this recently? When was that, Celia?
No.
Not yet.
But I do want about personality.
It seems like
I talked about it in a broadcast.
Okay.
How it wasn't specific to that, but I talked about how some kids may lean towards the crazy kids. I did a broadcast on. That was Tuesday. That was Wednesday.
Wednesday was personality.
And the worry about how other kids influence your children.
Yeah.
That was Wednesday.
So personality profiling is so important. And I do a lot of training on this just from a business perspective because it's important as a business owner to understand how to read people. But personality profiling goes way beyond business, and it's important for anybody. I mean, it can apply to your spouse. A lot of people struggle in your marriage because you don't understand the personality type of your husband. A lot of people struggle with their kids because they don't understand that every one of your kids is unique and different, and you really can't have a one-size-fits-all approach to parenting, because every single one of your kids are motivated by different things or inspired by different things. Certain kids take correction differently, take discipline differently. So understanding your kid's personality is important. We could sit here for 2 hours and talk about personality typing, and none of us have time to do that. But if any of y'all are really trying to understand personality typing and how to understand the 4 different key personality types and figure out what your kids are, I have a training that I've done. It's a master class that I originally charged for. But if anybody wants that, if you want to email me, my contact info is right down here below. Email me, justincapandpro@gmail.com. Let me know you're on the broadcast today and say, Justin, can you please send me that personality typing video? It's a 2-hour training, but it'll teach you everything that you need to know about mastering personality. Love language is another one. Heather just brought up love languages.
Yes.
I've never done a training on love languages. Have you ever done a training on love languages? No. Heather, have you ever done it?
I have when I went through relationship.
Okay.
Coaching, because that's a big thing in relationships. Is how does one view love? Like my husband never said I love you to his kids or anything, because he never grew up that way until he met me. Now he says it all the time. And it doesn't mean he didn't love them. It just wasn't spoken.
Right.
So those kind of things were not spoken.
Yes.
So and for your kids, the biggest thing you can start doing immediately with your children as soon as they're born and as they grow through toddlerhood and school age is to tune into them. Look at what they're interested in. Don't say, you know what, you're going to be an amazing soccer player. We're working on soccer. My son, as many of you who follow me know, he was a gamer. I think he was a gamer from the moment I gave birth to him. And his whole world was gaming. And now he's a professional. I mean, he works for the gaming industry. He works in defense, war gaming, various gaming things. He's all about gaming. And he has a degree in gaming. But the thing is, I never stifled it. I limited it. He wasn't allowed to sit on
parameters,
forever, never. But I also showed an interest in it. I would sit down with him and ask him, what do you like about this? All these kids that are fascinated with Fortnite, sit down and ask them why they like it. What is it about this game that is so exciting for them? And ask them to show you how to play. My son never liked me to play with him because I'm terrible at it. Yeah. But I still made him play with me.
Yep. My kids do. I remember when Minecraft first came out, and my kids were like,
It's
just
a really cool game.
Yeah, my kids are like, Dad, we want to show you how to play Minecraft. And of course, I had watched them play Minecraft. I'm like, I don't want to play Minecraft. I'm like, all right, I'll try it. And so I sit down with them and I play it. I hated it. It was awful. And then I came to a dad date with my daughter Sammy, who I think was 10 at the time, if I recall. And I said, what are we gonna do on our dad date? She's like, Dad, you and I are gonna play Minecraft together. And I'm like, oh. Like for the whole evening? She's like, yeah, we're gonna go to B-Dubs and get some wings, and then we're gonna come home and we're gonna play Minecraft. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play Minecraft with you. So we sat down and I'm like, all right, I need you to teach this to me. I need to understand what's happening. I need to understand how the heck I do this. And I'm like, I need you to teach it to me. She's like, okay. And so and I'm like, what do you like about it? And just like you're saying, I asked her what she liked about it and what she does in the game. And she took time to sit there for like an hour and taught me. Once she taught me it and I understood it, I'm like, this is fun. This is a creative game.
Because you're an artist.
Yeah, I'm an artist. I'm like, this is fun. I can make whatever I want. So I sat there, and then I love Minecraft. But that was like the greatest thing in the world to her. And not only that I sat there for like 3 hours and played Minecraft with her, but that she taught me and made me actually like it.
Because you take an interest in them. Not, my kids need to be interested in everything I want and everything I want them to be. You take an interest in them.
Yep.
You may discover wonderful things about your children that you never know.
We've covered personality type and love languages. Both are tremendously powerful tools to understand, not only for kids, but just that's huge for your spouse. It's huge for your friendships. I mean, it'll translate way beyond just your parenting. So if anybody wants to get access to my personality typing training, just email me and I'll hook you up with that. And then my girl Heather Jessup, who's just commented in the chat stream, Heather is an amazing relationship coach, and she's done a training on love languages. If you want to get access to that training, hopefully Heather, you've got something available they can get to. But Heather can just drop a comment in the chat so they can see you. You can reach out to Heather and see what she's got for the love languages, because love languages is something that's absolutely necessary to understand when you're trying to understand your kids. So great stuff there. The last one, number 5, we're going to talk about, then we're going to get out of here. Number 5 is making memories. Choosing to make memories for your kids. And so I'm going to share with you something that's gone on with us and our family recently. So we everything that we do with our kids, we're always trying to just go beyond surface and average and just what the norm is. I really want to create, like, I sincerely want to, like, make so many memories for my kids that when they grow old, I want to be the dad where, like, man, I remember dad used to do this and he used to do that. I remember we did this all the time. Like, I really sincerely want to create great memories for my kids. So with the holidays coming up, Courtney and I have been talking about gifting and the presents, and usually every single year for Christmas, what we end up doing is usually every kid gets one primary big gift. It's like their big gift of the season. It's what they're really excited about. Usually something that they really, really want. They're never really sure whether they're going to get it, but it's usually every one of the kids has something that we know they really, really want. We're going to give them their one big gift. And then they usually have something that they need, and we have a few other small gifts, but everybody always gets like that one primary gift. So it's been this way for the past several years, and last year we had a great Christmas. Everybody had their one thing that they really wanted that we got for them. And so coming into this year and Christmas, Courtney and I have been talking about, all right, with the ages that our kids are at and what they have, what they don't have, like, what are we going to do this year? And neither of us could think of anything. Like, we're talking through all the scenarios, and neither of us could think of anything. And I'm like, I don't know where we're gonna get these kids. And, like, we need to talk about it. So we took our kids out to dinner, and we're like, all right, we need to talk about Christmas. We gotta understand what you guys want for Christmas. So we went through each kid, and we're like, last year you got this. This is what it's kind of been in the years past. What are you thinking this year? Is there anything that you really want? And right down the line, every single 4 of them, they couldn't think of anything. They couldn't think of anything that they wanted. And my son even said, my son who's 13, he's like, Dad, we kind of have everything that we want. He's like, I don't really know what to ask for. I'm like, well, I don't want to go spend a bunch of money on Christmas presents for stuff that you guys don't need. And they're like, nobody could really think of anything. I said, well, I have an idea. I said, this is kind of something that you might need to consider. I said, I have an idea. What if instead of us spending a bunch of money on Christmas presents this year, what if I take you guys to an indoor water park for 3 days? And they're like, eyes got real big, and I'm like, just for your consideration. So I've looked up in the United States the top 10 biggest indoor water parks in the United States, and the third one is in Ohio, 3 hours from us. It's called Salahari Resort. It's a massive indoor water park and resort. I'm like, if you guys are interested in going there for the amount of money that I would spend on Christmas this year, I can take you to Salahari Resort for 3 days and 2 nights, and we'll go there for Christmas instead of getting gifts. I'm like, what are you guys' thoughts on that? They're like, yeah, let's do that. It's crazy. And I was showing them pictures and everything. But I'm like, it's going to be a different Christmas than we've ever had this year, because every year we just do presents and stuff. And I'm like, this could be a thing. I'm like, this could be something where, like, every year maybe we go back to the water. Maybe we go to the water park every year, and that's our Christmas tradition. Or I'm like, I was telling Courtney about this. I said, or maybe every single year we make a tradition of Dad's going to take us on a special trip every Christmas, and we don't know where we're going until the day we leave. And so I'm like, that's kind of more my style. And Greg and Kim, my Ohio people, they know what Kalahari is about. So we're going to Kalahari Resort for Christmas this year. My kids are freaking out about this, but I think every year, I think I'm going to plan like a different trip, and I'm not going to tell anybody where we're going. And this can be something that they look forward to. But that's making a memory, because I'm like,
right.
They'll
remember that holiday.
Yeah,
Always.
and they'll probably remember the first one especially. And I'm like, if we just go and buy them a bunch of gifts this year, gifts are forgotten. But I'm like, when we take them to this resort, we're gonna take pictures, and we're gonna have this whole experience, and that's gonna be a memory that's lasting. So I'm gonna turn it to you, Celia. Thoughts around making memories? Any other ideas or insight you want to give us on that?
Well, just that, that one-on-one time, that time you spend with your child, actually everything we talked about in this broadcast will be things they remember. You know, you just don't remember. Like if I ask you, what did you get for, you know, your birthday when you turned 10, the majority of people have no clue.
Yeah.
You know, they're just like a gift. They might not even remember the party, you know,
Yep.
if they had a party. But these things that you do every day in your children's lives, these things that you make a point to do weekly, monthly, to be there, that's what they remember. They remember your time. They remember your presence, not your presence. So remember that. And, you know, it's like gifts, like, you know, for our holidays, we go to dinner theaters, we go see shows, you know, we do things other than the charity things we do those kind of things. You know, I shared with you, Justin, when we were talking about the other day, my mom, for Hanukkah, there are 8 nights, and traditionally you get 8 gifts for Hanukkah. So my mom used to get a grab bag and wrap 8 gifts, nothing big. You know, they were socks, they were a little toy, whatever. But we loved the excitement of picking something out of that grab bag was so fun. And now it is the tradition for our kids and our grandkids. And even though my mom has passed, we still give them a grab bag from their grandparents.
That's awesome. That's awesome, and they remember that. You know, they remember that. It's like it's just something that's an annual thing. Absolutely. And like this year, we started doing. I think it was 3 years ago. We started doing Secret Santa with our kids, and it's like their favorite thing. And so we have 4 kids. So every year we're actually going to do it probably in the next couple of weeks, right before Thanksgiving. I put all the family members' names in the thing, and everybody picks one. I give everybody a $20 budget, and everybody buys a gift for someone else, and it's secret. So everybody's always excited about who they're going to get and what they're going to do, and then everybody's trying to figure out who got who. And I'm like, no, we're not going to figure this out. But like the Secret Santa thing is like their favorite thing. So this year for Christmas, since we're going to Kalahari, I'm like, we'll still do Secret Santa, and then we'll still do stockings. So everybody goes stockings, and then we'll go to Kalahari. So we're excited about that for our year this year. But I think back just to your point, Celia. I think back to my own childhood. I had a great childhood. My parents are amazing. But I think back to like all the Christmases when I was young, and you know, I honestly can't remember anything that I got as a kid as a Christmas present. I can remember one year getting a drum set. That was one of my favorite Christmases ever. I got my first drum set. And then I can remember the year that I got a giant pirate ship Lego set. But those are like the only 2 Christmases I can really remember anything about the Christmases. But I can remember every sailboat trip we went on as a family vacation. Right. I can remember the time that we went to Disney when I was like 11. I can remember a ton about that trip. I can remember every single time we went to Hilton Head Island on vacation. I can remember, I remember a ton about those. And so when I think about those experiences for myself, I just think about what am I doing now with my own kids, because the time's flying. The time is flying with them, right. And you only have.
I remember when we were kids, every spring break we would go to Florida, and we would drive to Florida. And there weren't tablets, there weren't cell phones, and that drive to Florida, we loved those drives. We were singing songs, playing games, and those are the memories. That sometimes fighting, sometimes whatever. Those drives to Florida from Maryland, which were 2-day drives.
Yeah.
Were like the best.
It's the blast.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
And for you, and for all you grandparents out there too, like I think about my grandparents. So my grandma Cap'n, one of the things that they did as grandparents when we were all young is they had a vacation home in Florida, just a small trailer in Florida, and every year they would pick 2 cousins that were similar age, and they would fly us to Florida. And we'd spend a week with Florida. So we got to do it. Once you were 12, you were old enough to go. So I remember when I was 12, me and my cousin Josh, who was 13, they put us on a plane. It was the first time ever flying alone. They flew us down to Florida, picked us up at the airport, and we got to spend a week with them in Florida. And I'll remember that. I remember like the whole trip. I remember like the whole thing. Right. And I also
used to do that as kids still.
Yeah.
To New York for my aunt.
Yeah.
One of us would go.
Yeah.
She'd take one of us every year.
Yeah. And even when I remember even younger, at a younger age, one of the things my grandparents would do every year is they would rotate every year. They would take one kid to a Detroit Tigers baseball game. I only ever went to one. I was still in elementary school because I can remember the day that they pulled up in front of the elementary school with their minivan and picked me up, and they had a whole outfit of Detroit Tigers gear I was going to wear, and I went to my first baseball game. I remember catching the ball because I caught a ball that came in the outfield, and I don't even like baseball, but I remember that experience because it was an experience. So
because it was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Remember that kids like to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Grown-ups like to have fun. They just forget about that.
Right.
But kids always like to have fun. So if you make something fun, it's always a memory.
I love it. Good stuff, Celia.
Make schoolwork fun.
Yep.
Hard to believe.
All right, we're gonna get out of here, y'all, because we've been on here for a while. But I want to let you guys know Celia is incredible. She's an incredible parenting coach. She's helped our family a ton with a lot of the stuff that we've gone through over the years. Celia has an amazing program that she has put together that she's getting ready to roll out here in November called Frontline. You want to tell them a little bit about Frontline real quick, Celia?
Sure. So Frontline is a group coaching program over 5 months' time that will really put the parents on the front line with their kids in school, regardless of what school your children are going through, elementary, middle, high school, when they really need to have someone that's got their back. And what it does is it creates proactive parents, proactive kids, so that they know what to expect and they have the tools to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we do. And we work together one-on-one with you, group scenario. You have various ways to get the information, focus master classes, so that you know what to expect in every year that your child grows older and older through school. Because in this day and age, guys, there is a whole lot more information that's out there. And if you're not learning, you're not teaching your kids and helping them deal with it, Google will. Mm-hmm. So make your decision. Do you want them to learn it on Google, or do you want them to learn and be connected to you and know that you're the one that really has their back and you're the one that they're going to turn to? And
I love
that's what we get you prepared for.
How long is it going to be for, buddy? How long is the program going to run for?
It's a 5-month group coaching program, but if you, I'll try to talk. My Black Friday special gives you a whole extra month for free. And if you get in on it before Black Friday, the pricing's phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Phenomenal. That's all I'm saying.
So I just posted in the chat.
Only 10 people.
Yeah, it's limited, right? Because you got a limited amount of time that you can make available to these parents. But
right.
Celia is really looking for a specific group of parents that you've got kids in school that are going through some stuff, and if you are feeling ill-equipped to handle what your kids are going through, and you know you need help dealing with the things that all the stuff that's being thrown at them. There's not a person on this planet that I would recommend more than Celia to help you with it. So if you got kids in school and you need help with it, you can go to pumpedupparenting.com/frontline. You can check out what she's doing. It's an incredible program at an incredible price, and it'll basically start second semester, right? It'll start January and take them all the way through the back half of the year. Okay. Check it out if you want more information, guys. If you want to get connected to Celia, please do so. She's got amazing free content that she puts out every week and every day. She's got a lot of resources available on her website. I'm going to leave you all with that for today because we've been on here for an hour. But Celia, thank you for your time. I know your time is valuable, and I appreciate you, buddy. Anybody, if you got questions for Celia, holler out at her, get a hold of her, and we'll see you guys later, right? Take care, God bless, and y'all have a great weekend, all right? Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.